on.
All right.
Can you hear me?
We're good.
Okay, sound off. Good morning, everyone. Tuesday, March 23rd, 2021. Already the end of March. And even though daylight saving times is a week out, I still felt this meme was pretty appropriate. The kids are still kind of on this too. My little one's like, turn off all the lights. so, um, so today we've got our reminders and a few updates for you, and then a how-to that we found this morning as well. So if I go to the reminders, as always, canvas.cmslearns.org is a resource that we curate. We pull a lot from the Canvas guides, but we've added one recently, and I don't remember what it was off the top of my head. It was GradeSync, I believe. So you can search, you can filter, find any resources. If you got something that we need to add here, please let us know, but this is always available. Admin consultations are still available. If you go into the course on the left side, click admin consultations. Feel free to sign up for a time. I think we've got times through May. Can meet with Jake and I and kind of get help with projects that you're trying to accomplish for your school. And I closed my course down. That was awesome. There's a shortcut key of Control-Shift-T if you don't remember shortcuts. J.MP/ITPD office hours. That form is open 24/7. We keep an eye on it. So if you got a question that's not necessarily a ticket and you want us to take a look or discuss during our admin meeting, please feel free to submit that to that form. During the session as well, submit to that form and it'll pop up and we'll get to questions later on. Please remember to submit Shearwell tickets with lots of details. And don't forget that we also have help on the left side of Canvas. You could do live chat, which we use frequently. Some people like the phone, so there's a hotline. So don't forget we have this option available on the help section of Canvas for all users as well. If you're doing PD course support or PD courses, Canvas Challenge, Google Drive Challenge, Amy is keeping up with that as always.
Yep, we're all up to date. Yep.
Cool. Thank you, Amy. Note that we have a deadline, I believe, of May 14th. It's coming faster than you would think. So make sure all materials are submitted by that time. And then once that window closes, we will start the process to sync everything and make sure everything is done and getting ready for the end of the year for license and all of that. So make sure you get everything in on time. And if you've got a question, please submit to that form. PowerSchool changes in Canvas can take 24, 72 hours. We see this a bunch. We had 2 tickets yesterday where student schedules weren't correct, waited a day and they were fine. So just be patient. And then the last thing on the reminders is the digital learning consultations. The Calendly links for Trish and Aubrey are still there. First update is the new CMS resources page is now live. Had a couple little hiccups on our end, but we got those straightened out. Jake pulled some wizardry on the back end to help with that yesterday. But if you go to Canvas and on the left side, click resources, it'll take a second to load. There it goes. And we are posting resources here. So you can search, for example, we always advocate for Canvas Challenge. If you search Challenge, there's information about the courses. You can click and learn more. And at the request of Amy, which was a good call, if you click on the picture or the title, it'll lead you to that resource. So again, this is available for students and staff. It's slightly different for students, but it's here, it's searchable, it's filterable, it is live. Jake, anything to add on that?
Just kudos to you and an excellent design, and just the functionality is extreme enhancement too.
Yeah.
Just some static buttons that were there originally.
Well, and you know I like playing with the CSS. So
Yes.
got lots of resources here. Feel free to take a look, and if hopefully it helps. Next thing, we've just gone live with this as well, but we've been seeing more of a need for it. Removing access assignments, pages, and modules using the course manager. So I put together a little slide on this. There's a tutorial as well. So basically where we're seeing an issue is there's performance issues in Canvas where there's too many assignments, modules, or pages. And
if you consider, like, we're in the 4th quarter, teachers have imported a ton of content over the year. They have blueprint content. They've created their own. it adds up to a whole lot of stuff, and maybe not all of the stuff is being used or has ever been used. This can help you get rid of it quickly.
So our first recommendation is either unpublish or delete unused items. There are times though when your assignments page won't load or the grades page won't load properly. So we built this Course Manager web app. You must be signed into Google Chrome, and what it does is it allows you to view what's in your course and delete items. Jake has also placed it in the settings of a course, so I'm going to go to my sandbox, close this out, and you notice up here on the upper right, Course Manager. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. Oh, nice, Jake. I like the way you did that. Keeps it in Canvas too. Very nice. So first thing that they're going to see every time is some of these actions cannot be undone. For example, if you delete modules, you can restore the modules, but it doesn't restore the contents of the modules. So if you're going to give this to some of your teachers and users, make sure they take a look at the tutorial and understand the elements of this before they use it. All right, so I'm going to agree to these terms. And let's say I pull up my sandbox and I want to see what assignments I have here. What it's going to do is it's going to go into the course. It's going to say you've got 28 assignments. Let's say I want to delete these 2. Click delete selected. Again, a reminder, are you sure? Then once you say yes, it's going to confirm that you're a teacher of the course and then perform that delete for you. So process has gone. Those courses are removed from the list, or those items are removed from the list, and it's now out of the course. So each course that you are it's an active course that you are a teacher of, you can view the assignments, modules, and pages for that course and delete items as needed. If you've got a lot of courses, as you can see, I've got a fair amount, I can search Sandbox. There it is. So know that this is live. We've put some information here in today's slides, but also feel free to take the link to the tutorial, send that to your users and tell them how to get there in the settings. Jake, is there anything you want to add to it? Because I stumble.
Just note, like the situation that we have for the 2020-21 school year with full remote, and like the world is learning virtually. It caused a lot more content to be pushed into Canvas than perhaps would have existed in a normal school year in a blended environment. Even a face-to-face classroom, you wouldn't have quite as much content put into Canvas. You'd still use it, but not quite as extensively. So this resource, the Course Manager, is something that we built in CMS, right? Justin and I worked on it, informed by others, but it's kind of use at your own risk to address the needs for right now for the issues that are happening. We have no intention of removing it at any time, but just consider it as a support for a situation that happened this school year. And moving forward, we would hope that teachers are more deliberate about the content they import into a course, especially when it is a live active course with CMS students in it. Just being more careful with that. And we have worked with other departments as well for the content, the templating resources that are there, and just trying to minimize that. We need the content to be quality and less quantity moving forward for next school year.
And a couple of notes too. If you're directing people to use this, there is a help button on the upper right. So the circle here will open up this document that has some more information. This is not something that, as Jake said, was built by Canvas. This was built by us. So if you need to get help with your courses, you can do the live chat and support hotline and Canvas guides. For this tool only, I mean, this would be a ticket to us, right, Jake?
Yeah.
But through Shearwell. So.
But I mean, if the thing is help, I've deleted all my resources and I need them back, the only thing we can point you to is the undelete part of your course. So the button right there that Justin's hovering over will take you to this page. When you go to any course, if you just add /undelete from the course homepage, you can restore things you have recently deleted. Not everything will be there that you've deleted in a course. If it's been a while, it may not be in the undelete section. We haven't been able to figure out a rhyme or reason for what does or does not show up in the undelete, but we do know that not everything you delete will be there. So it is, of course, use at your own risk, and realize if you're deleting assignments, you may lose student work as well.
Yep. And again, that's over here in the upper right, course manager.
Yeah, we've had several tickets for this issue, and we've already been referring them to that. But just want you to be aware, maybe get in front of it, the issue. If teachers are saying their assignments page doesn't load or the grade book is just filled with things they're not using, tell them to try the course manager.
Yep. Next one is a new one that we discovered this morning, and Sagan helped us discover this one. It's when teachers are scheduling a Zoom meeting. I don't remember the exact error that they're getting.
Well, the teachers aren't getting any error.
The
students
students
are. When they try to join it, they're being prompted to log into Zoom, and it won't work because they don't have Zoom accounts to log into. So yeah, from the schedule a meeting dialog, if you scroll down to there's an advanced section here, require authentication to join. If you check that, it should be CMS Zoom authentication, not sign into CMS Zoom. That the sign into CMS Zoom, we're told, should not be there for teachers at this point. It was there last week and caused issues. My son couldn't get into a Zoom meeting last week, and it turns out this was the issue. So it's important to use CMS Zoom authentication, not sign into, for the authentication method.
And this is one of those too. If you've got an issue, there is the support course for Zoom, I know, is here as well, and I believe that would be a ticket as well. So if I look up Zoom, there's the course Zoom 101, which I know we got from Trish. So yeah, just wanted to make you all aware that we found that today. We're aware of it, and I know some are looking into it more. The last thing we've got is a how-to. Google sends out their updates, and they sent out a cool one today about searching Google Drive. Basically, there are keywords that you can add. So for example, in the GIF that we're seeing on the screen, you can do to:/, and then search either an email address, and it'll show you that. Another one that I've used a lot is type. So if you click on the button, where's type? There's type. So type, if you were to put type : and say document, it'll find documents that match. So
it's Google Docs and Word documents.
Nice. So we wanted to share this out as a way to help search more efficiently in Google Drive. We link directly to the Google support page, so if there's updates, it'll come here, but we wanted to make you guys aware.
My favorite is owner, because
Yeah.
I'll remember who created the file, so I just type owner and their email address, especially if it's someone that's I'm in a meeting and someone says, well, I've got this file and I shared it with you last week. Okay, I'm not going to go to my email and look for that. I'm just going to go to Google Drive, type owner, put in their email address, enter, and it will show me a list of all the files that I have access to that person is an owner of. And if it's a meeting about this topic, the chances are that file is going to be the first or second one in that list. So it's really easy to find owner, and their email address. Use it all the time.
Well,
I
and
do that a lot.
yeah,
I like adding the keywords if you still can't find it, doing the little drop down, doing owner, but then it'll have this keyword somewhere in the document, and that's like a great way to find it. If it's someone you share a lot of stuff with, that's a really good pro tip for finding it if you can't remember how they name things.
The to and from are new. Those are interesting.
Yeah. I've never used the minus sign. I think that's pretty cool. So if you want salsa but not dancing.
I've done that in Google searching a lot. Like if you're trying to Google search something and you know there's a particular type of result you don't want, then I do it. I actually do the minus sign a lot. I feel like I had a librarian teacher teach me that in like middle school when I was first learning how to be a
search terms.
Yeah, exactly. Learning how to be a good Googler back then.
Well, and I've done this in my own personal Gmail as well. That's where I first learned these. So just know this is here for Google Drive. We wanted to share it out as a good little pro tip to help get better at searching. The GIF kind of shows it, and feel free to use the link to share to others. So I think that's it on our agenda today. Want to jump into questions? Jake, am I good to pull that up?
Yeah, we don't have any yet.
Okay.
Just a reminder, j.mp/ITPD office hours. Yeah, you check to make sure I updated the script right?
Yes.
I was nervous looking at all the IDs for the script file, and like, this doesn't match the live one, but I'm doing it the way Justin did it yesterday.
Oh, good.
It's weird. Like, there are so many different IDs for Google Apps Script projects now. An individual project can just have, looks like dozens of IDs. So which one is the one I'm working with?
Yeah.
So you published it and you did the managed deployment instead of new deployment, and it still has multiple IDs?
Yeah, the IDs that were showing on the screen didn't match this ID for the web app. So I was like, I'm going to roll the dice because I can't see any other way to do this.
You know what, though?
Exactly how he did it. So I did it and it updated. So,
but I'm in the dev. I wonder if that has something to do with it as well.
Oh, the dev URL. That might be it.
Yeah.
That's gotta be it.
But I did test it again this morning, Jake, with the sidebar here.
Yeah.
I was playing yesterday during a meeting and moved the eye icon. So this morning I went and adjusted it. I'm like, please don't break it. Please don't break it. So I'll put this up, Jake. I got a knock on my door.
There's got to be like somebody who's figured out all these IDs for the new projects. There's got to be like some write-up out there that we need to find and read carefully.
Ben Collins, I'm expecting. We'll
okay.
have the definitive explanation of it all soon.
Right. He's got to be like working diligently right now. I'm wondering if he's redoing his entire Google Apps Script class now.
Ben Collins?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he did. He said he re-recorded like 72 videos.
Oh my gosh. Jeez, that makes me like a reminder to all the Canvas Challenge and Google Drive Challenge videos. That was like 38 videos, and I thought I was never going to make another video again in my life.
I have to say, I've done a couple projects with it now, and I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
And what
I do like it. I do.
What I found is when going into like Visual Studio is more seamless for me now. It doesn't feel as foreign.
That I could see that. I could see that definitely. I need to play with some code this week. That might be my Wednesday activity.
Yeah, well, we have viewers, so we got 13 people watching right now. So if you have any questions, right now is the best time to put it in the forum, and we'll answer it right away at j.mp/ITPD office hours. If you have any questions, Canvas related, or right away, ask and you will get. So Lauren is saying, just a heads up, I had to get on the guest network to get this webinar to come up. It was restricted on the main Wi-Fi.
So it's YouTube. So Lauren, this is something we are seeing. If you are on CMS campuses and you are logged in on WLAN as a teacher, which you would be on a teacher device, you have to click on your little icon in the top right corner and go down to the bottom, click on restricted mode and turn it off. You may have to do this every video in YouTube. It's an issue, and I don't think we have a solution for it.
But if she's signed in with her CMS Google account, would not be restricted. I just looked at this video and it said it wasn't approved. So I clicked that. But if she's not logged in with her CMS Google account in YouTube, it's going to be restricted.
That's true.
But we just approved it, so it should work on any account. But we have to do that individually. Unfortunately, the channel is not letting us en masse approve all videos for this. It's just something that happens. So yeah, we didn't approve it in time. So that's why you're having trouble seeing it there. But
that's something we got to do.
The Google account, your CMS Google account signed into YouTube, you should have been able to see it. Now it won't matter. You should be able to see it either way.
Good to know.
And then Hannah, curious, any of you participated in the elementary Canvas webinar? Yes, Hannah, we did look at it. We are testing it. We don't have much to say about it yet because there are a lot of things that don't exist yet, but they're saying it's going to be cool. So we can't really we're testing things. We're exploring it. We're working closely with the curriculum team as well. When we have more information about it, we will begin sharing. But at this point, we don't even have a good grasp on how we would deploy this. Canvas doesn't even have directions yet on how we, Charlotte Mecklenburg Schools, with 150,000 students and roughly 8,000 courses, Canvas courses a school year,
8.
how we would manage that. So there's and like it's never been done. This is a brand new system, so it may, and like I don't want anyone to get really excited about it and expecting it to show up like sometime between June and August. It's never been used. It's never been tested. And CMS isn't real wild about testing things early, right? It's better for them to work out the bugs on a smaller district than to start immediately with us. But we are aware of it and we are studying it. We are seeing what we can do, but I want to manage expectations. This is still a very early release beta of what is happening for this. So they are making strides to make Canvas much more, make an instance of Canvas much more useful for elementary school, for a case where the one teacher teaches all the subjects, right? So they can manage, the dashboard looks a whole lot different for the student when with these new features, but it is all in development and subject to change at any time. So it's not really worth a lot of conversation at this point. And that's I just would say we need to manage our expectations on it for now. It is exciting about what could be coming, but we can't say that it's going to look exactly as you've seen in that video. It's already changed a bit from what I've read in the community blog and their updates for it. So, and it only just is starting to work in our environment. So they had to make an update Saturday for it to work the way it's built right now, and it is not complete. Like half of the screens that you see on the dashboard don't even exist yet, and there's no information on how you would populate them. So there's a lot that still needs to be learned about the elementary. So
we'll keep you updated though once we know more. Next thing, if I create a new quiz in the quiz section of Canvas, how can I include as part of the module to make sure students are able to navigate to the next page without returning to the home page? Amy?
Oh, one of my favorite new quiz questions. So first off, Michelle, if you're trying to add a new quiz to a module, it's actually, this could be different because Canvas is playing with new quizzes right now. Try looking under assignments as your drop down when you're trying to add it to the module. But my understanding is they've moved that to quiz now. So try looking under assignments or quizzes. It may be under one or the other. One thing of note, I'm sure you've heard us say it before, new quizzes is still being kind of fully integrated, and it's slowly taking over as classic quizzes sunsets out. And as we're kind of going through that transition, some of these things are going to slowly change. So that's how you add it to a module. Now, once you add it to a module, there is no next button on a new quiz. Just full stop, there is not. But in the top right corner, if they click return, it should take them to the submissions page of that thing now, and then take them to the next thing in the module. Unfortunately, what you see happens a lot, where it takes them back to the module page instead. From my understanding, this is something that the new quiz product development team is working on, and trust me, it's one they hear loudly. But we want our voice to be heard as well. So here is what I would strongly suggest. Go to the Canvas community and vote for this. This is one that I think we just need to keep telling Canvas needs to happen pronto. So there is definitely a strong community when it comes to new quizzes specifically. If you actually just search the new quiz group is what my suggestion is. New quizzes.
In the guides or no?
Just search Google search new quizzes Canvas group. Should come right up. This group is where a lot of these updates are happening. It's the first one. Yep. This group does a really good job of giving you updates about what's going on. But it's also where a lot of the feature ideas are posted for new quizzes. I would strongly encourage you, especially if you're like me and you feel strongly about some of these quirks, as I call them, for new quizzes, go spend some time clicking on some of these and voting for them. One of them is a next button on new quiz. And trust me, you're not alone. If you read some of the comments on this one, you'll find out you are definitely not alone on that one. So I would encourage you and anybody watching, please go vote for these because Canvas needs to hear us. They do have a new project manager who does seem willing to listen, though. So that's kind of exciting because that happened in like January or December. They posted in the community and like welcomed us and put out a survey and everything. So I think they're trying really hard to listen. But there are quirks like that with new quizzes, unfortunately. Some things I've tried with new quizzes is you could always include like in your directions the link to the next thing. So I've done that before because the directions continue to show. And so you can click here to continue to the next thing. That's one option. I've seen some success with that. But that is a quirk of new quizzes.
Good question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Amy.
So I got the next one. It's from Connie saying a school nurse has CMS email, but I cannot get her enrolled. Yeah, school nurses are a weird situation there. The nurse is not necessarily a CMS employee. They're a contractor, so there is no direct association to Canvas. If you put in a support ticket and make the case for why they need it, we may be able to create that. But contracted employees, contractors may have CMS emails, but they do not have Canvas accounts. And we honestly, they are typically rejected for contractors. There's it's hard to make a case for that, and we don't have enough budget to support the needs for adding users that have very peripheral needs for Canvas. So that would be the answer for that. Just because they have a CMS email does not mean that they are a full CMS employee and would get the state ID and then get populated into Canvas. All right.
All right. Next one. I have an ELA teacher who would like to add a new app to the iPads. Is this possible, or are we only allowed to use those loaded by CMS? Good question.
I think you can put in a ticket requesting something. The thing, though, is an app that you add is probably going to require student information, student data. And depending on the app, what are they going to do with that data? Who's responsible for making sure that that data is managed safely? Well, it's incumbent on us as the adults in CMS to ensure that our children, their data is safe. So you are asking CMS to enter into a relationship with a company, and we don't know what the app is, so it's maybe way hyperbolic and you don't need to worry about this, or it could be exactly what you need to hear. But you have to be mindful of the data privacy, and when you request an app, that is something that has to be vetted. So a request for adding apps on the iPad is it's not an immediate thing. Like it will have to get vetted through several different people to ensure that it is allowed, and then it would get installed. So there is an approval process for that, and you just have to follow that process to get that done.
All right, next question is from Lisa. It says, if grades are not syncing, check grade sync errors. Yes, that's the first thing we do is go to the grade sync. do a grade pass back.
Read what the errors say, though.
Yeah.
Make sense of the errors, because she's going to mention the error later down here. And
I see that.
Exactly. So read the errors, make sense of it.
Getting an assignment, getting an error that states it's locked means it's from a prior grading period. It needs to be toggled off. And it was funny. I went through a ticket earlier with somebody, and he's like, I have to go through every item. And we're like, yes, this right here, and this is going to disappear. But you can see the error messages. This assignment group will not pass to PowerSchool, and this particular assignment is toggled on to pass to PowerSchool, but it will not. Toggle it off. All right. The other thing to look at is the due date. So if it's from a prior due date, you can toggle it off here. That'll remove the error message. That's what that locked error means.
The keyword is locked. If you see locked as an error message for GradeSync, that specific message is because the due date fell before March 12th, the start of quarter 4. So anything before March 12th cannot be syncing to PowerSchool at this point. GradeSync just won't allow it, and it's really PowerSchool will pass back to Canvas, hey, you can't do that, and the error messages that you're seeing are the errors you see from PowerSchool. So that's the issue. There's just no association allowed for prior grading periods. You got to disable sync for those if you see the word locked.
Next one. I have a teacher that's uploading Google items with the LTI, and the students are getting an error message about cookies being disabled on an iPad. Not enough detail to know for this one right now.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen that one yet.
We want to make sure that the student is logged in to their Google account on the iPad. Are they using the app, or are they using Safari or Chrome? I think there's more details definitely that we would need to be able to support that.
Yep. Screenshots are great because they allow us to see it.
There are cookies in settings for the iPad, right? We've seen this. That it's been a while, but we did have that. You had to enable cookies, I want to say. Let me take a look on my phone if I can find anything like that in the settings.
There was also that Safari setting about cross-site tracking that sometimes popped up too.
That's what I was thinking of.
Like how he just pops in and says something, disappears.
Well, yeah. Brianna, if you could, putting in a ticket, we can look at it, but we do need more details. A screenshot of the error so we can see in the context of where on the iPad that's happening. Yeah, so if they're using Safari, there is a block all cookies toggle, and if that's turned on, that could be a problem. And the prevent cross-site tracking was the other one. If they're using Safari, that would be in there.
Okay. Next one is from Nisha. I have a student who keeps seeing assignments from previous school in Canvas. He's able to see our school. Can the 2 classes from the previous school be removed? What's probably happening is they are enrolled in some courses that are non-PowerSchool courses, such as a Media Center course, digital citizenship course. And anytime they're enrolled in a course that belongs to another sub-account, they're still going to see those messages. We would need student ID number and the 2 courses that are an issue and a ticket, and then we can go in and remove that.
Yeah, it's an easy fix, but we got to know who the student is, because not every student moves from one school to another in a school year. So we may not know that.
Nope. Sometimes it lets me get rid of it, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
Should reach out to the guy who built this and ask him to fix it.
Probably.
At this point, I'm pretty familiar with that code, but I don't know how to fix that part.
It is nice though.
Yeah.
So if you got questions, don't forget j.mp/ITPD office hours. Jake, you were going to say something. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say the same thing. You beat me to it.
I'll keep an eye on it over here. He's out cold and laying funky as always.
Anything flat is his bed.
Man. He has made it very clear that like I was doing something the other day. I was working on the floor and doing something. And he came and just laid on my legs like it was his place to lay. Like, doing something, dog. He's like, I don't care. Yesterday, I kid you not, he wanted to get up on the bed where the other dog was, and he used me as a step stool because I was looking under the bed for his toy, and he climbed on me to get on the bed. I was like, wow. Okay. Well played. By the way, Jake, if you've been with us since last year, you know we did a lot of bird watching last year. Boy, are we having fun with that. The backyard, we call it Party at the Keen's house where the birds, because there are so many birds back there.
Cool.
We had a cardinal stuck in our garage this morning, actually. That was exciting.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, at least it was your garage. You got a nice big door to open to get them out.
Yeah.
In the house is a much different story.
Oh my gosh.
And you've got some tall ceilings. That could be trouble.
Well, and I was out there trying to help him, direct him, and my wife walks. I'm like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Close the door." Yeah, we've had some bird incidents on the windows too. We had an owl hit the front window, and I kid you not, that thing was longer than my forearm and hand. It was huge. Woke us up from dead asleep too. So.
But he survived. He flew away, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I came back a couple minutes later. He was gone. Amazing.
Yeah.
Well.
All right. Well, I think we'll call it a day. Just a reminder, you can always fill out this form at any time if you got a question you want answered. If it doesn't require like immediate attention, you probably putting in a ticket is usually a faster way to get answers if it's not during the office hours. But you can always put in tickets, and we got the admin consultations as well if you just want some one-on-one conversation about some things you're working on, some ways we can help. We're here for that.
Thank you all for all you're doing. I'm sure everybody's tired. So have a good week, and we'll see you next week.